Hey, and welcome back to Coming
Hey.
Off the Edge.
Yeah,
And Jeff, you're fine. You're fine, Jeff. Don't worry
I'm
about it.
fine. That's good.
Yeah,
You're
you
just
look
I'm
telling
great.
me
fine.
that. So
Look
You
how
look great.
perfect we are, guys.
Yeah.
Happy
fine.
Tuesday.
It seems like we do this for a regular. We're on the regular.
Happy
For the regular?
Tuesday.
On
We
the
do
regular.
this for the regular people because we are regular
We
people
do one
ourselves.
in the regular.
That's
We
it.
do podcasts.
Come on this show and
Tuesday
talk
nights.
about whatever we want to talk about on Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
Welcome to Coming Off the Edge.
Welcome.
Corey, Jeff, and myself, James, are here to have a little fun, guys. It is great to be back. First and foremost, I feel like I haven't seen you guys in months, but obviously it's only been 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks. I don't remember. Maybe it has been a month, but it feels good to be back. How's everybody doing? Obviously, I lost my tongue while I was gone.
Yeah, we're doing fine, man. I'm happy Tuesday. It's good for you to be back after celebrating John Swanson.
Oh, yeah.
Congrats on the bachelor party. And Pikachu, Jeff is, this is why we said you look fine, Jeff, to start off this show.
I feel
Yeah,
like I'm like talking to a robot right now because my connection's so bad and you guys keep breaking up. So I don't know what we're
Honestly-
talking about right now, other than it's Tuesday night and I'm here. So that counts for something, kind of, maybe.
Yeah,
It seems like your Wi-Fi is playing catch up, but eventually it catches up. So
Okay.
you're okay. It's like it's like the Bills catching up to the Chiefs and making it all the way to. Wait, that was the other way, right? And the Chiefs caught up to the Bills, and then the Bills didn't get a chance. Oh yeah, that's right. Well, we had a Super Bowl, right?
That's
Did everybody
sad.
enjoy
No.
the Super Bowl?
He's so
Jeff,
sad,
did you
dude.
enjoy the Super Bowl? Are you?
I
is
don't
that a
condone
red
this.
light, or are you just mad?
I don't condone this right now, Jeff.
So
You don't answer that question.
It was okay. I don't know. I was disappointed that the Bills weren't there. Obviously, I wanted the Bang. It was weird because I wanted the Bengals to win, but at the same time, I was watching the game cheering for the Rams. Like, it's one of those things when you're like,
Sure.
your head is telling you one thing, and then you're watching the game, and you're like, "Ooh, man, Cooper Kupp just missed that," and you're like, "Why am I'm supposed to be cheering for the other team? Why am I wanting that to happen?"
That is called
so
the
I-
head versus heart scenario. And like, in your mind, you're like, the Rams just look better on paper. They have a stronger team, but your heart always kind of like yearns for the underdog win. And that's what it would have been if Cincinnati could have pulled it off. But obviously we know the outcome of that.
Hey, I was
There's
happy.
a handful of guys. Well, like guys like Matthew Stafford. I've always kind of liked Matthew Stafford. I've always liked Aaron Donald. So I'm like probably the only person on Twitter that kind of likes Jalen Ramsey. So it's one of those things that there were just a bunch of guys that I felt really good about them getting their first championship. I think they were probably subconsciously feeling like if the Bills had the opportunity to beat the Bengals, they would have done so. And if the Bengals win the Super Bowl, then you also had that feeling of like, we really did just blow our chance. The way the game played out, I still kind of had that feeling of we really did blow a fantastic chance this year to win the Super Bowl. So that was a struggle for me. But otherwise, I enjoyed the game. The halftime show was phenomenal. I enjoyed the drama at the end of the game. There was felt like a whole quarter where there was absolutely nothing happening, but that is what it is.
Hey, Corey, what's your takeaway from the Super Bowl? I mean, I know you don't watch too much football, but you obviously have seen a Super Bowl before.
Yeah, actually, last year was the first one I've ever watched. Sure, it's been on, like in college with the buddies, but like that I actually watched. So when I watched it Sunday, I was really tuned in through about 2.5 quarters or so. Halftime show was phenomenal. It was great. And I really come back into like the last kind of 6-ish minutes or so of the game. And then, we don't got to, talk about what everyone's talking about, but it got interesting there at the end, especially at the end when Jamar Chase beat Ramsey on that sideline, but Donald got to Burrow pretty quick. So maybe if he had more time, he could have chucked it up, and then the questionable play calls. I kind of wanted to talk to Taylor about like Zach Taylor. Shout out to Cold T, Taylor Cornell. I want to talk to him about Zach Taylor and just kind of if that's always been his utilization of play calls, schemes, and things like that.
I was interested to see, and we don't have to get too far into it, but I was interested to see the personnel selection of P. Ryan towards the end of the game instead of Mixon. Like that really it was very confusing. And
Right.
it's one of the main topics I know that a lot of people are talking about. So, we're not like every other show out there. We're not going to sit there and break down every single scenario and play that what if. Because,
What if?
everybody else is doing that. We're just here to talk and have a good time.
That's why I wanted to talk to Taylor. Like if Zach Taylor just does that, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, he really hadn't done it until the end of the season, if you want to be quite frank about it.
What if, bro?
Yeah, I mean, Mixon could have turned it around. Who knows? Maybe Mixon was in the doghouse for missing a blocking assignment that we didn't see on paper.
Right.
On screen, rather.
What if? Who knows? But yeah, I don't know. The Super Bowl, cool. I mean, shout out to the Rams. Congrats to Matt Stafford. Really like that. Super happy for him. Like was Jeff saying, a bunch of people deserved it. Donald, Whitworth, Weddle got his, and then
what about Beckham? What about
and
Odell?
And then of course Beckham. You hate to see the ACL injury. Get rid of Turner.
Right. And this is going to be tough because this is his second ACL tear now.
Same knee too.
Same knee. It looked like as soon as it happened, he knew what happened. Oh, girl, dad.
Sorry. Go ahead.
What do we do with Odell? And I know he's a free agent at the end of. Well, he's a free agent for 2022. He's going to take at least 6 months to heal. He's in the latter stages of his. Yeah, he's in the latter stages of his career now. He's not like such a spring chicken, and he's finally happy in LA with the personnel around him. But I mean, it wouldn't be the same with Robert Woods coming back anyway. So do you see Odell staying in LA somehow, some way, or does he get shipped off for lunch meat?
Well, there was the story before the game that he was willing to take a hometown discount to stay with the Rams, that he really enjoyed being in LA, being with the Rams. Then with the injury, obviously that it might not even be a discount, it might be what he can get now. So I don't know that teams are lining up to sign him. I would have a feeling that if that had been the case the first time around, he probably would have got a little bit more of a lucrative offer but if the Rams are where he wants to be,
Super Bowl offer,
the Rams can essentially name their price.
Yeah, I'm curious. It's the same knee, like you're saying, probably 6 to 8 months, but that's post surgery. What if he has swelling for a month? All of a sudden, we're pushed into March. He's probably not gonna be back till December. People are talking about, does he retire now? He went out on the high note, touchdown in the Super Bowl ring. He's going to be 29 or so, I think, right? I don't know. Maybe he goes to a team that will be in the playoffs, so he doesn't have to rush back in. They could slowly get him in there halfway through the season, mid-season, whenever they're bye week, week 7, he comes, get some snaps, week 8, 9, 10, 11, and then you full force. I don't know really what to expect. Does he stay with Los Angeles? Does he go to the Chiefs? Who knows?
Well, if they get Robert Woods back, they have Van Jefferson, they have Cooper Kupp. They can make it through a couple months and then insert Odell back into the lineup.
Make his contract heavily incentive based. Like if you can start 8 games for us, you get an extra $1 or $500K. If you get 50 receptions, 5 touchdowns. I don't know what the incentives are, playing time, postseason awards, stats, things like that. Make it really incentive based. So it actually gets him a drive to come back and truly kind of compete and play for his team, which I guess you should as an NFL player regardless, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Right. No, I totally understand. You guys both make great points. Now, from a fantasy standpoint, we are in dynasty season. The off season starts heavy dynasty season. I know all 3 of us have been looking at rookies, doing startup rookie drafts, etc., etc.
Yes.
I just activated one of my leagues today as a commish. We take a 2-week break, and then the Monday after the Super Bowl, we hit that activation button and waivers go live. It's kind of exciting. Not much action yet, but I'm sure there will be some. But like that leads me with Odell, just to tie it all hand in hand. He's going to be super inexpensive right now as an asset, and wherever he does land, I still think he can be fantasy relevant. So if not to say I'm an Odell Beckham fan, I'm not, but the way he played in LA, I'm willing to take a shot if I have him on my team to hold on to him to see if he lands back in LA or with another franchise. And, because he's getting up there, you really can't get too much for him. And you might be able to acquire him on the cheap.
Maybe.
I think he's a player that people have such strong feelings about that there's probably going to be somebody in every league that values him more than me, is the way I look at it. And just conceptually, I don't know. I feel like I'm a little bit shaken by the way that the playoffs played out with COVID, obviously, and players missing games. I don't know what the protocols are going to go back to if the league is just fine with these protocols where literally nobody got COVID apparently, or everybody just played with it. If that's fine moving forward, that's one thing. But if they go back to more stringent protocols next year, especially during the playoffs, I've kind of been proactively rolling all my teams to younger because I believe so much in the 23 draft class that I'm willing to have a 1 year down year kind of. And I've just taken it as there's just a lot of factors that have made me comfortable in pulling back. But between COVID, the way that you were able to get guys that just kind of fill in for weeks or just random guys get pulled out of games, the value of the 23 rookie class, it just kind of feels like there are a lot of factors that make it a very good year to just tap the brakes, reset, roll forward with a stronger team.
So you mentioned you're trying to get younger, and in your sense, when you say younger, Jeff, you're going for 2023 rookies in the most sense. We all know that it's supposed to be a pretty strong draft class, probably better than 2022. Shh, don't tell anybody.
Definitely better.
Yes, definitely better. But either way,
2021.
what about 2021? Like, that's what I was going to say. The 2021 rookie draft class had some pretty big heavy hitters as far as wide receivers. In 2020, we saw Justin Jefferson. There was the aforementioned Henry Ruggs. We mentioned him like months ago. And then, Jerry Jeudy was there. Out of the 2021 class, who are you really trying to target? Because obviously Jamar Chase is up there. I know there's some debate whether or not he is the 101 in dynasty startups compared to Justin Jefferson right now when it comes to wide receiver. I know DLF, shout out DLF. I know they have Jefferson up there pretty high. Same with Chase. Who out of the 2021 class are you actually really trying to target on some kind of a low that's obtainable, that you're not giving away your whole team for?
I gave away my whole team in one league for Jamar Chase. I'm just going to be honest.
Well, that's one way to do it.
I gave away a lot for Jamar Chase in one league. I've been more comfortable. I've been buying, especially very early 22 seconds, because doing some of these mocks, I'm very comfortable with the guys that are landing. I kind of feel like if you look at 21 versus 22, I kind of feel like they're not the top end that we saw in 21. But like through the 204, 205, I'm very comfortable with the value that I'm seeing so far in mocks for 22. And there's just been so much buzz about this class being bad that it's not going to be that bad. And it's not going to be as bad as the buzz has been saying. I don't think there's a huge difference in what you were able to get outside of like Jalen Waddle. What we were able to get from like the 110 through the 204 last year versus what you would be able to get this year, I think it's pretty comparable. But I do mention Waddle. Waddle's a player that I've been trying to target, that I just took in a startup that I was in with Corey that we did a week or two ago. I got Waddle late in the third round in that one.
Nice.
He's a guy that I'm trying to aggressively go after. Bateman is a guy that apparently Hollywood Brown is quitting to do video games. So Rashard Bateman would be
my
a player
guy.
that,
Me too, guys.
I picked up in another startup that I did, and that's a player that I'd be targeting right now. Really, the wide receivers, I think that there's good value to be had on them right now. I'm not comfortable with the prices that I've seen on Najee Harris, but it is what that is.
Oh,
yeah, no, I'm not interested in that. But you mentioned Jalen Waddle, and that's a good point, because he was the guy that I was actually thinking about when I was asking this question, like, who would I want to target, especially in startups, because you can grab a couple players ahead of him. He is the guy that I think that they are going to try to force feed the ball in a sense, almost like a Deebo Samuel kind of way that the 49ers did. And I'm interested to see what he can do in year 2, another year with Tua in the
Year
driver's seat.
two,
Year 2, no, it's actually year 3 for Tua.
right.
But oh, it's Waddle's year 2. I like it. That makes
Thank you.
sense.
Thank you. Thank you.
But
I know. Yeah,
yeah, I'm excited to see what Waddle can actually do in his second year because he made such an impact in his rookie year on a franchise that was so up and down through the course of the season.
Speaking of Miami,
I'm
just kidding.
very skeptical on them using Waddle in the Debo role because I just think that that's a lot of wear and tear for a player that I'm not. We saw him do a lot after the catch, and I think that there are things that they will do to scheme up to put him in those situations. But I either think I don't know. I'm crazy, and I think it's going to be either Lynn Bowden or it's going to be a player that's not on the roster yet. And I think that that's going to be the way that they're going to address it to have that type of talent. I've seen some people say that everybody is way overboard on projecting anybody else to be in the Debo role because Debo is that talented. But I'm convinced that Travis Etienne would have been in that role had he been healthy. I think that Cordero Patterson, we saw some of it before the Falcons just for whatever reason decided to stop using him in that role to just make him their running back. That didn't work very well. And I think that we are dealing with a copycat league and the success that teams are going to figure out ways to get their best players the ball beyond just you run down the field 12 yards and we'll throw it to you. And I think that that's doesn't have to be the Debo role, but there's going to be more situations and more aggressive game planning to get the ball in their best players' hands.
Right. Maybe I was a little misunderstood with that. I didn't really mean like the Debo role, but the activity and the force feeding him the ball and getting him the ball and making him the prime offensive weapon on the team, which he pretty much is anyway. I mean, Miami's got a lot of things to worry about. We all know that they can use a running back. The Gaskin project didn't work out. Salvan Ahmed, see you later, bye. Like their running game was pretty much crap this season. Yes. With the couple instances where they actually scored some fantasy points and they were viable. So they need something. And I think with the new coaching staff, you're going to see some kind of change in that position, which probably will help the overall team. But they're losing Will Fuller. Will Fuller's a free agent this year. Not like he really made an impact last year. I'm not sure about Devontae Parker's contract. Is he in the last year of his contract, Corey?
He's got like 2 more years, like 2025, I think is when
2025. So, well, he's not going anywhere. But, it's interesting to see like those kind of franchises that are on a tilt that could be good or bad with a couple of just a few different moves, just like Cincinnati,
Right. And with Mike McDaniel coming over from San Francisco, he's a heavily part in that run game coordination. Like, do they go that similar route? They draft a late round guy. Maybe they bring in a free agent like Ryan Mostert. Maybe they bring over Marlon Mack, who was rumored to be a trade candidate last offseason.
I wanted him to go to Miami so bad.
Right.
So bad.
Who knows what can happen because he could prove that he could do it with not nothing, but like with these late round picks. They found a gem with Elijah Mitchell. Chase Sherman was a bust, but
maybe they sign Cordero Patterson and use him in the Debo role. There you go.
Maybe they do. Who knows? I don't know. It's big because the whole now philosophy changed with Mike Gesicki. He's a free agent. He doesn't really block, and McDaniels likes a blocking tight end there, which makes you think, will Hunter Long kind of step up, be a little more blocker? They could re-sign Durham Smythe as the pass catching guy, like Gesicki walk, because he's going to be a lot of money. I don't know. It's a whole philosophy scheme thing that is going to need to fit. I don't know if there's a free agent out there, tight end, that can fit McDaniel kind of like offense. Off top, I have no idea. But.
So if you look at Kevin O'Connell getting the Vikings job, a lot of what has been said about him was that he came in with a very specific game plan on how they were going to use the players on the roster. And I would have to imagine that all the coaches do that especially the offensive minded coaches are coming in with a very specific game plan and ideas of how they are going to use the talent on the roster, because I don't think anybody's rolling into these interviews and saying all your players are shit, we're going to get all new ones. So You know,
Could you
I think
imagine?
there's certainly a game plan in place for the available talent already, I would think, and they don't have a abundance of draft capital to go out and just completely overhaul the whole thing. So they'll figure out ways to use the players on the roster.
Right. So, like you said, alluded to maybe Lynn Bowden, he come off the IR. He could maybe be a little bit utilized. We saw that his last 3 or 4 games as a rookie with the Dolphins. What if they
Preston Williams. Come on, Preston Williams.
Matt
Please.
Collins get some more touchdhdowns?
All
What
Matt
if they
Collins does is catch touchdowns.
Yeah.
There
You
you go.
just throw him the ball every time. He's going to catch a touchdown. I mean, just don't understand. I watch these games and Matt Collins just catches touchdowns. I'd think that I would just throw him the ball and he would get more touchdowns.
Right. I think I have the Dolphins tight end plan. Resign Gesicki, utilize him as a slot like you do. Hunter Long develops, he steps up into like that block and roll, and then you re-sign Durham Smythe, and you have a nice little 3 tight end rotation without Gesicki having to be paid wide receiver money.
I think Gesicki actually commands wide receiver money.
Probably. Because he go to the
I don't-
Jaguars with Peterson.
I don't think he goes to the Jaguars. I think Dan Arnold pretty much locked that up. I don't think he's going to go anywhere
Maybe.
as far as the tight end
New
for
coach.
Jacksonville. But you could see, I don't not see Gesicki going somewhere else. I mean, he is one of those names that could float around. It would probably be in Miami's best interest to keep him in Miami. But knowing from a personal standpoint, I know he's a Jersey boy. He could come back up to the Northeast. He lives a couple towns away from me. Actually, he grew up not too far from where I am right now. Actually, a friend of mine, her brother and Gesicki are best friends. But I don't know. Maybe he lands in the Jets. Maybe he sits in the Jets organization. And he's a free agent. He can walk. He could be a little bit closer to home. But from what I hear from a personal standpoint, is he loves Miami. I mean, what's there not to love? Miami, except for losing football games. But he could do that here in New York as well with the Jets.
The Jets are going to draft Trey McBride.
They better. I was hyping him up today.
Clip it. I'm telling you right now, the Jets are going to take Trey McBride. They coached him in the Senior Bowl, and they absolutely loved him. So but they run the same offense too. They want that power tight end for that. They want to run a power zone rushing scheme, just like the 49ers and just like potentially the Dolphins will run. The team that I would be intrigued, you see the 4th team there, even the 3rd team there on that list, the Chargers or the Bengals getting involved in Mike Gesicki would be very interesting to me. And I know that Gesicki was a Penn State guy, so he's kind of got a little bit of that sampling of the Midwest to go hook up with Joe Burrow, or he can turn around and play with Justin Herbert in LA. And I think that those are 2 areas that it'd be a big boon for fantasy if he were able to sign with one of them. But at the same time, those teams, I know CJ Uzama is the Bengals spirit animal on their offense, but adding that receiving tight end into that offense would be a different, interesting element. But also the vertical ability of Justin Herbert to put Mike Gesicki in that role.
I think if you're going to single out those 2 teams, I think the Chargers might actually have a better shot at that. Jared Cook was on a 1-year deal. They have Donald Parham behind him, but Parham kept getting injured and in and out. Like, they didn't have the full confidence on Parham. If he were to go into the Chargers
that'd be sick
offense, man, they would be sick. That would be a tough place to slow him down with the other offensive weapons on that team.
Honestly, like those first 5 teams right there, Dolphins, Jag, Bengals, Chargers, Jets, like that, those got to be the options, right?
No, maybe the Jags have their tight end in Dan Arnold.
Right, but I mean, if you could, like the Bengals have their tight end in Uzoma, you know what I mean? Like they could always upgrade the vertical.
I mean, Uzama is a little bit older. I believe he's in his 30s.
No, he's like 28, but he is a free agent too. Yeah, Uzoma's like 28.
The Colts too, because the Colts haven't had any tight ends.
He's 29 years old
29,
right now.
My fault. Yeah, he just turned 29.
All right, so
that's not that bad. He's gonna get crazy. Mike Gesicki's gonna get crazy money. I'm telling you right now.
Have the space. Look at that. Jags have the space. Bengals. I mean, Chargers do.
Jaguars need a lot. You're gonna see all that active cap spending. Like, it's gonna be diminished by the end of the offseason because they need a lot of pieces.
Right. Yeah. Bengals, they just need that tight end. Gesicki would be sick there, dude. Because
What about-
Drew Sample could be the blocking tight end.
Drew Sample is already the blocking tight end.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like he holds down that role. Oh, that'd be sick.
And that's funny to bring up the Jags. Let's bring up somebody that we probably haven't talked about since like October.
Lawrence?
DJ Shark.
Get him out. I don't care. He sucks.
He's a free agent.
Good.
He sucks. I
He
don't
doesn't
think he had a
suck.
chance
Sorry.
to play.
He doesn't suck. I just never bought into the hype of DJ Shark. So you talk about Jags. Yeah, you're
is he
talking
like
about
a
Jag.
throwaway option that you could just like wing like maybe a 3rd round pick in Dynasty?
Oh, sure. It's
and
probably worth
possibly
it.
scoop up and
Sure.
roll the dice with him. I
just
think
don't
he's
like
like what,
him.
26 years old?
24, I thought.
I think he's
that
25.
real fast, but yeah, I
25. I'll meet you in the middle, bro.
meet you in the middle, bud.
He's
but
going to be 26 by the time the season
And that's
starts.
good.
though.
He
It's
showed
be
some
26
promise.
season.
People just seem to fall in love with him.
he just got
big and
got
runs
injured.
fast.
He plays. I think he's big. He runs fast, but he plays a little
Chargers.
reckless. Like he can't stay on the field health wise, and that's always been his
Chargers.
problem.
Mike Williams goes. They replace with Gesicki and DJ Shark.
Oh
You
man,
heard it here first, everyone.
I don't know if Mike
Just
Williams can be a
throw
wide
Shark
receiver
on the
one
outside,
somewhere else.
Gesicki up the seams, dude, and then Keenan does his thing. Austin Eckler out there. Oh my God, it's game over.
My worst fear for Mike Williams
Madden.
is that he gets like picked up by the Packers after Rodgers is gone,
He got the bag.
and that's
though.
the death of Mike Williams. Sorry, I know you're a Jordan Love fan, Corey, but I'm not.
I'm not. I'm a Jordan Love fan when you could get him in like the 14th, 15th round last year, and now you're probably getting him like what?
Now he's a starting quarterback.
24th round or something. I don't know. So I'm a fan of that. I'm not a fan of him as a player.
Okay,
I
all
think
right.
You know,
they're
he
keeping
starts, and then
Rodgers.
it's like, give me
I
a
think
first,
Rodgers
give
is
me a-
going to be a
yeah.
Packer.
No, yeah, they're throwing them the bag. Well, that'd be
You're
cool.
gonna throw him the bag, and you think he stays? I don't know, man.
I think
That's
they're
what they're
going to.
saying.
I think they're going to give
Too
literally
much
half their
off-season
salary
stink.
cap to Devonta Adams and Aaron Rodgers.
Tag Adams, sign Rodgers.
Trade Aaron Jones.
Tag.
Trade Aaron Jones in his
trade
contract.
It's literally just going to be Devonta Adams and Aaron Rodgers and a bunch of unrestricted free agents,
I don't know what I did.
undrafted free agent rookies that are just rolling out there in week one.
Screw it, dude.
AJ Dillon, and Devonta
AJ
Adams
Dillon,
Aaron
and
Rodgers.
they're going to pick up like
and then a
Raheem
bunch of
Mostert,
street
Cordarrelle Patterson, and
Is there-
Devontae Freeman.
Is their defense fine? I don't know.
Uh,
Rashawn Gary's cool.
Yeah, he's
Jair
legit.
Alexander
Alexander,
finally
obviously.
just came back, but
Yeah,
like he
commercial
didn't play
legit.
in the playoffs. So
Darnell Savage is fine, I guess. Right, he's pretty good. I could be wrong. I'm
Yeah,
not a big
yeah.
defensive guy.
They
so
have,
like they're fine.
Darius Smith and Preston Smith are
Ah.
both. They signed those two guys in free agency a
Devondre
couple of years
Campbell.
ago, and they're both hitting their final year of their contracts.
Devondre Campbell.
Devondre
no?
Campbell's the guy
He
they
was
signed last
really,
year.
really good this year. He had a huge year this year. So their defense is probably fine. So yeah, throw Rodgers the bag. Like, you know, it's the MVP, dude.
I don't think it happens. I think he leaves.
Where? What if
To where? Oh gosh.
Broncos?
Probably.
Buccaneers.
Broncos,
Panthers.
Pittsburgh.
The Giants.
Yeah, that could. No, I don't
that's
think
just
he
your
does
team.
that.
That's just your
I
team.
think if he actually stays in the league, he's going to want to land on a place where he can go for a Super Bowl. And
Yeah.
obviously, the Giants
Yeah.
aren't it. Off the top of my head, yeah, the Denver makes a lot of sense. You know, they have a lot of working parts already. New head coach, whether or not they want to deal with that. I mean, what happens if he goes to Minnesota?
Yeah.
But he has to be
They
They
traded,
committed
right?
to Kirk Cousins. They committed to Cousins.
He's not going to Minnesota.
Yeah, why would they trade in
Washington would be an interesting. I've said
Washington's-
Washington would be an interesting.
But is Washington set up to win or go on a championship run? Because that's what really
Maybe.
would put it over the top for Rodgers. Because Rodgers, he wants to win. He wants to win one more Super Bowl. Otherwise, he doesn't give a crap about the money. Does he really? No, he's got a lot of money.
Bro.
He just built a house in Nashville, a farm or a horseback.
Dynasty, Titans, swap quarterbacks.
Yeah. Now, see, that makes a lot more sense. Titans are just
Aaron
roll right in.
Rodgers for Ryan Tannehill, straight up. Let's just go.
Aaron Rodgers for Ryan Tannehill and
I mean,
First round
whoever
pick.
Yeah, a couple.
and Julio Jones. Julio Jones
No.
and Ryan Tannehill for Aaron Rodgers and
No.
Devontae Adams.
And Aaron Jones.
There you go.
Oh, and Adams. Okay, you send Adams back. Okay. That makes more sense. I was like, dude, you at least got to
There
give
you
him
go.
Julio.
Done. Mail it in.
That's
Send it
not
in the league.
bad.
I mean, send it. Like who would say no?
Ship it in.
That's interesting.
But
All
no,
right,
it is
moving on.
an
We've
interesting.
What
placed
if-
Aaron
an
Rodgers
interesting.
and
That's a
What
what
if-
if.
Tannehill, so.
What if?
So, well, if we're gonna stick with the what ifs, what if Kyler Murray leaves the NFL for baseball? Does it happen?
Telling ya.
Yes or no? And if it does, who
That's
cares?
interesting.
Telling you, yeah, I don't know if baseball exists anymore, if it's on a different plane of existence, if there's going to ever be played again. But I don't know. It feels like to me that there is a potential that he just says. It does kind of feel like his heart is really in baseball versus. I know that I read some things today that basically there's concern about around the Cardinals where he's very dialed in on Sundays, and then on Monday through Saturday, he just doesn't care at all. And I think there's certainly everybody's reading into his body language when it comes to a lot of things. But it's a very ironic story to me because people are saying that Kyler's upset that he's being made the scapegoat, and meanwhile, and that's upsetting the Cardinals. Meanwhile, the Cardinals are making him the scapegoat. So it's like what's going on here?
All right. So when you're the number one,
He's
well,
pretty
when you're the
solid.
first round pick in the draft, you're supposed to be the franchise quarterback. Those are the kind of things that go with the franchise quarterback. What position did he play baseball in, Corey?
I think center field, and he's
so he
actually
was a center fielder.
pretty solid.
So yeah, he had a good arm as a
was
center
the seventh
fielder, and
pick
he's
in the
fast.
Major League Baseball draft when they knew he was
Okay.
gonna. Yeah,
That's
the A's
great,
took him with
but-
the seventh pick in the draft when they knew he was going to go play football. So I mean,
So you never hear of the center fielder being the captain
Left
of a
field.
baseball team,
All right.
especially left field. You know, they're somewhere out there in left field. They're not the captain. They're not the commander, the general of the team. And I think he's challenged with that leadership role in his maturity level because he's not acting to suit. Like you see these guys now, I can understand you miss a pass. Oh, that's on me. That's my bad. I'm mad. But when he gets sacked, like he sits there and cries in the backfield like a little baby. Sometimes he doesn't get up right away. Sometimes he does this. Sometimes he does that. And it seems like he just doesn't want to be there. So in my opinion, move on, bud. See you later. Bye. I don't really care. I think Cliff Kingsbury has been keeping him on a tight leash, and he's just been coddled his whole NFL career. And now that that the offensive line really is bad compared to prior years that it was really bad, now he's getting the full brunt of it because, hey, man, you've been here for 2-3 years now. Either get on board and do something or move on. Go back to baseball. If you don't want to be here, go back to baseball. I don't even care anymore.
He actually
why doesn't-
no, he didn't.
why does Cliff Kingsbury get a free pass so much? It seems like I don't, after a year of everybody making every joke about Urban Meyer being a bad hire and whatever else, everybody said Cliff Kingsbury was a bad hire when he was hired, and then he turned around and the team has just been so almost Jekyll and Hyde. Like you get 1 week and they look like the best team in football, and then the next week they look completely unprepared. And why does Cliff Kingsbury? It just feels like he gets a free pass. I don't know. It kind of, there was a story that they were going to move on from him after the playoff loss, but then everything was cool supposedly after that. I think that it's fair to question, if you're going to question Kyler Murray's leadership and whatever else about Kyler, it's fair to question if Kingsbury is even qualified to be the head coach of the Cardinals. I have questions if he's even qualified to be the head coach of Texas Longhorns, given what he did at Texas Tech.
Right. Exactly. Like it just doesn't need to. I don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand. I don't get it.
Y'all don't see the vision, the air raid.
Well, the air raid
There's no
offense
air raid.
dies if you don't have DeAndre Hopkins catching
Yeah,
the
there's-
ball.
Make
Apparently,
Christian
like
Kirk more involved. You see
say,
Christian
I'm
Kirk's
not gonna-
mom
He
I
smirched
see
the
his
name
mom?
of Christian
No,
Kirk.
dude.
before
like
he
on
says
Twitter.
it.
Oh, you just you're walking around the mall.
another free agent
On Twitter, like someone said, get Christian Kirk out of Arizona to get away from like Kyler, and mom quote tweeted it or commented and said, "Amen."
Oh, so maybe the relationship isn't that good anyway. Maybe
Yeah.
there's some fire in the desert there that we just don't know
Yeah.
about. That's behind the season. I mean, I just came back from Phoenix area, Scottsdale, shout out. Like it is beautiful out there in the wintertime. but I heard it's like 120 degrees in the summertime, and I am not trying to deal with that.
Yes, no. Okay, guys, guess what?
What's up? What do we got?
Hold on, I'm not ready.
You're not ready. All of a sudden, you're not ready.
Hold on, I messed up. Okay.
Surprise, surprise. Corey's got a surprise. What do we got? Oh, things to watch
Things to watch.
after the Super Bowl. Like, there's not much left, right?
Are we doing sports
There's
things
no
or
football
just
on.
things in life?
Yeah, just things to watch.
Things to watch. Well, I'm gonna go with the number one overall, and that's I'm gonna watch my son.
Say it. Oh,
I'm gonna
what?
watch my
That was my
child.
pick.
So children, yeah,
I don't
my
have a kid.
children, my child. Well, you have cats. So it's
Cat.
similar,
Singular.
different. Yeah,
I was
pets.
depressed in college. Okay.
Yeah, it's just it's like my family. I'm like, man, I miss this. Like I said, I took 2
There she
weeks
is.
off, and I just dialed everything back, gained my sanity, and I'm ready for the 2022 season. But it all comes with that sense of family behind it. So family definitely
That's nice.
has to be the
Wow.
one.
I feel like can't even follow that. That was gonna be my pick. I thought for sure I was gonna slide one over on everybody. And pick
I mean, dude, I
family.
don't have a kid. Why? I'm gonna watch my child.
So I'm just gonna say Twitter.
Twitter, back to Twitter, back to that
I'm
little
just
blue
watching
bird.
Twitter. Yeah. What's the hot take of the day?
I mean, we all spend too much time on it. I'm just saying.
I mean, speak
I had
for
actually
yourself. I mean, that's
yeah.
totally subjective.
I had some time off today. It was nice. Dear the internet, I do not want to sell my house over the phone for an all cash offer. You can feel free to stop calling. Love, Jeff.
That's right.
Wow.
Internet. Cut it out.
Wow.
I'm up. So Jeff says Twitter. Could I
No
just
wonder people
steal
don't like me on Twitter.
streaming services, or do I gotta be
Doesn't like me
specific?
either.
I mean, if we were to name like shows or anything like that, you can do whatever you want. Screw it. We're here. It's the middle of the off season, and we're just having fun.
Middle. It's the beginning.
Beginning.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I just want to. I speak for me. I want YouTube. So now your children
Damn.
are bored.
Damn. Damn it.
YouTube. I guess specifically.
I'm
on
an
YouTube,
old.
actually
I do not watch YouTube.
I like to
I'm
watch
old.
like when I'm writing and stuff. I do like stand-up clips or like the podcast that I like. They usually have a YouTube channel, so you get to see them.
That's good. Back
Things
to back.
I'm an
to
old.
watch YouTube. I could say Twitch. I got Marquise Brown all of a sudden, since that's what he's going to pursue a career in. But I don't give a crap about Twitch.
Do you do a little bit more gaming in the off season than you do during the regular season, Corey?
No, because now is my content time. Like now
Right,
that the year's over, I have a lot of stuff I could do during the season. It's probably more. But if you are trying to like play anything again, we could talk about that. Well, I'm up again. My fault. Things I want to watch. Can I just take Netflix?
Sure. Catch up on some
and
Netflix.
chill.
And
I'm
chill.
a single guy. I need all the watching stuff
Netflix
right
and
now.
chill with your cat. I'm sure that's what that saying's for.
All right.
That's
Well, I'm gonna take Disney Plus then. So
All right, we're going streaming
No, that's
services.
even though I can't look at my children, they can
watch Brink, man.
Disney
That's a
Plus.
good one.
All right, so it's things to watch, and it's the off season. The number one thing I'm doing right now is rookie film. I'm getting on
wow.
board. I'm
That's a
all
good
about
one,
it.
dude.
Wherever I can find it, I'm getting it. I'm
That's-
not going to name any websites or anything like that. I'm not going to really, have all my sources
Get
given away.
back.
But nerds. But these are things that like I'm gonna go and do. I'm definitely gonna watch a lot of rookie film. I have a lot of work to catch up on because I didn't get to watch a lot of college football this year. So yeah, that's number one. Well, that's actually my number two.
That should be the number one, bro.
My
When you live
number
that heavy life, you don't need to catch up.
My
on
number
stuff.
3 things to watch. I'm gonna go to the movies.
Nice, dude.
I don't think I've been to the movies enough. I think I've been there once this whole entire COVID situation. I think I
That's
don't
about that
remember
long?
what we went
Really?
and saw. That's how long it's been. I can't even remember what the movie was. So yeah, I'm gonna go to a movie theater. I'm gonna watch some movies. It's my that's my 301.
I like that, man. That's really nice, dude. Especially nowadays, theaters you get like beer and stuff now.
There's nobody there. It's not a packed theater anymore, so it's pretty nice.
I'm gonna save my eyelids and sleep a lot because I want to catch up on some sleep. So there we go.
Things to watch, catching some Z's, counting
Nice.
some sheep.
Okay. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Things to watch.
Hey,
The third round. Good stuff. That's
Coming off
good.
the edge, the Debbie Royale.
All that.
Catch
love it. Love it.
Jeff 2 back-to-back hours here. Jeff.
I'm gonna pick NFL Network, I guess. Watch more football content. Watch the draft combine.
Lots
I don't
more.
know.
And then I'm gonna
The
end it
NFL draft.
with
YouTube, I got the highlights, the YouTube highlight video.
yeah.
Sorry.
But I'm gonna watch my weight because
Aw,
spring
that's
is
cool,
right
bro.
around the corner. Summer is right
Hunting
around the
season.
corner. I've taken a month off from the gym, and I'm fighting with myself why I shouldn't be back in there. It's just a matter of personal time management. Right now, I have to squeeze an extra half hour in to my schedule somehow, some way. Wake up early, go to bed a little bit earlier. Who knows? But either way, I want to watch my weight. I want to get back in the gym and get fit for 2022.
Dude, that's a good one, man. I'm with you on that, man. I've been drinking more water lately too. So.
Well, I mean, if you're talking about that Bud Light.
Oh, thanks, Craig.
Oh,
I haven't done
Craig.
a show in like a month or two. Maybe I should do that again.
Yeah.
You should do what? Do you want to do it coming off the edge, load the wagon special?
Yeah, I mean, we should get that wagon rolling again. Get back on the wagon,
Like
so to
just-
speak.
Let's do it coming off the edge, load the wagon. We all just draft our own team. That'd be
we go.
We
nice.
should draft one super team and see if it works.
That's
Right.
nice. Shout out, load the wagon.